Hello and welcome to the very first vlog on the Not That Sam Smith channel. Yes, I know this is something a little bit different, something I've never done before, and hopefully it goes well. This weekend I am planning to go and present some Mocs at my first ever LEGO convention. That's not how it should be worked. I've been to LEGO conventions before. This is the first time I'm displaying at a LEGO convention. That sounds better. Planning to bring two Mocs. One, of course, being my Juggernaut, along with the 3 skiffs. That kind of counts as one Moc. Just as like a little taste, of Morak. Obviously, I can't bring the whole thing yet because it's not finished. And when I do finish it, my intention is to bring the whole thing. But as for now, it'll just be the Juggernaut and the skiffs, just to make a little diorama. And just as a little hint of what's to come. The other Moc I'm bringing is part of a collaboration with 6 other builders. All of which will be shown later in the actual vlog. And yeah, I'm excited to do that. My Moc, which is part of the collab, I will have its own showcase video later, so you will see it in this video, but you will get a much closer up view on it a bit later on. So let's get to the beginning of the vlog, which is me packing for the convention, which I'll film just now. Okay, it is packing day, or basically time to get this thing into a suitcase. You can see here's the Moc here, all nice and finished. All of the minifigures I put into this little box, as well as the minifigures to my skiffs and whatnot. So these I'll be able to keep in this little box so none of them go missing. Just keep them all together and I'll unload all of them onto the actual Moc on the convention day when I'm actually there. So nothing goes missing, essentially, just loose in my bag. So there we go, that's now all good there. Let's separate these two sections, or in fact, let's first get the case I'm going to be putting this Moc into. Okay, so I've made a little stick to basically measure how I can fit this into my case. I worked that this Moc is generally 38 by 38 studs wide. I know technically under our Moc collaboration guidelines it was meant to be 32 by 32, but I think just to make it the perfectly how I wanted it, it would be 38 by 38, which is close enough, really. So I made this little just stick out of 2 by plates, which is 38 studs long. So basically, here's my case here. If this fits in, the Moc should fit in generally. So lengthways, obviously, we can fit that in with no issues whatsoever, with some distance. Width-wise, it's a tight squeeze, but it does have a bit of flex to it. And, like, I should be able to, like... it should just about hold the Moc. So I'm now going to place the Moc into the case. And here's fingers crossed I don't destroy it. I'm currently filming this on Thursday. The day this needs to be presented is Saturday. So if it does split apart, I do have some time to fix it. But I'd rather it just fit in perfectly, to be honest. So let's have a check. Is this a Morak Technic episode? Because we've run into a problem. Okay, so basically, the Moc does fit into the case. Slight issue. It is way too big. Because my plan was to bring both this Moc and my Juggernaut and all 3 of the skiffs. This Moc itself is not going to fit in this case, because whilst it does split just at this second like grey level here, so I can like put that in and put that down into this section, this level here is already too tall. Like, you see when the case is it comes off here, there's still way too much height essentially going on there. So even like if I flip it, like take the roof off and turn it upside down and fit it in there, that'll be too tall, and there is also no space whatsoever to fit the Juggernaut. And I really do want to bring both. So I think we're going to have to go for a slightly larger case. Because that's the only way I can see this being a possibility, because that's just not fitting. Right, take 2. Here's the Moc. Here's our second case. It's a bit bigger, so hopefully it should fit in there. Okay, so there we go. That's it split into its two parts. That's its bottom half, that's the top half, splits apart like that. Taking off a couple of other little bits that would just fall off anyway, like the round doorway and also a couple of bits at the sides. These things here are the support in the back, which will just be put into a little box as well. But yeah, let's cling film this up so it does not break into pieces and get it stuffed in the case. Okay, and after a little bit of time, that's everything in the bag all together. So you can see here's the bottom part of the Mock collab, that's the top part of the collab, that's the Juggernaut wrapped up on its side down there. In that box is all the skiffs together, and then under that is another box with all the minifigures and a couple of other bits that keep falling off of these two parts. So just stuck together there, as well as a bit more cling film just for me to wrap up the stuff at the end of the convention, and also a box cutter just to cut the cling film and give me a bit of an easier time. I think this should be everything I need to bring Lego wise. Of course, I'm going to stuff in between all these gaps with some newspaper or some like plastic bags and stuff just to keep this as solid as possible. And I think we can now see now that a small suitcase absolutely would not have fit all of this stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks. So let's fill this up, pack it up, and then I'll see you on the day of the convention. It is officially convention day. The rest of this video will be me speaking over the camera because I don't like talking out loud in public on trains and stuff. So it's a lovely morning. Let's get to this convention. Here you can see in my finest Hawaiian shirt, as always, looking spiffy and fly, as we do. Let's go for it. So here's the first train I got on. I literally made this one with 1 minute to spare, so I was stressing a little bit about that, but I made it in the end, so we're all good. Just flying through the beautiful English countryside now to try and get to Oxford in time. Wonderful stuff. This is me rolling into my first station. I had a couple of connections to make for this one. I think I had to go on 3 separate trains, moving my case through each of them. And here is me in my, I think this is the final train, and I think this is me just leaving. I think I was leaving Reading here to get to Oxford. It was a difficult time, but I got into Oxford in the end. And then heading into the convention, here we are. We made it. Wonderful stuff. So excited to be here. This is my first time ever displaying as a convention, as I said, so I couldn't wait to go over to the table, get out my case and find my wonderful Mock there to be easily put together again. And this is where disaster struck. Evidently, this was not enough. I did pack other stuff into this case to make sure that things wouldn't move and it'd be as safe as possible, but clearly it was not enough. When I got to the convention, most people had almost finished setting up their stuff. I got there about an hour from the start time, and then I opened up the case, and this is what I found. Gotta get the content. That's the front of that is. Oh, that's wonderful work, Samuel. You've absolutely smashed that out of the park. So yeah, my almighty Juggernaut, which I've had together for months and months and months, had been entirely decapitated at the front. It had been months since I'd actually built this thing, so I kind of had no idea how it went together. So that one was kind of in the mud, so to speak, like... I did not have time to get this together, but at least I had my main part of the collaboration mock still to go, because of course that wouldn't be destroyed as well, would it? There we go, collab mock's looking perfect as well. Yeah, it was an absolute tatters. Like, the base parts are generally held together quite well, but all of the walls were collapsed in with each other, all mixed up. This one I had built slightly more recently, so I had a bit of a better idea of how it came together, but the way it came apart in chunks means it was really difficult to find which individual section connected to which. I think I realised by the end that I just made something way too difficult to move. Either that, or I should have just thought of a more intelligent way to do it. But hey, at least the skiffs made it out alright, I guess. So yeah, this is how the recreation process of that went. I have to thank Studio 64 for this footage because I was too stressed to film anything at this point. This is everybody in the collab almost finishing setting up their bits while I'm frantically trying to get as much together as possible because at this point we had about half an hour to go. I was screwed. There was just no way this was happening. So yeah, great time. The time is 9:55. It's 8:55. We've got 5 minutes to go. This is the situation. It ain't looking good. You may notice actually on the left here, that is SW Bricks and Figs' phone, which I was trying to use as some kind of method of how to put this back together. It didn't really help because it was taken from quite far away, so we ended up just using this photo as a placeholder for saying, oh, this is what the Mocs should look like when it's finished. Alright, the time is currently 10:36. I have finished the top half. I've still got a couple of extra pieces dotting about. Don't know where they go. Doesn't matter at this point. To get back to this bit now, let's hope we can finish it by the time that the main people come in, you know?
Sam, it's 3:30 now, mate.
It's 3:30, yeah, right, yeah. It's a struggle, it's a struggle. When I tell you I worked my ass off to get this finished in time, I really did. You can see me here, this is me just about finishing the mock. People walking past me, just like looking at it. Like, there were situations where this looked much worse and people were going like, what's this supposed to be? Just like staring at the juggernaut covered in cling film smashed to hell. What a great time. The time is 10:51. I finished it before the general public entered. It was just early past tickets here just now. This, oh my, I am sweating like you wouldn't believe. It's actually quite unbelievable. I pulled this out of the case, it was in tatters, I tell you. Now, it's not 100%, the minifigure placement I'm not 100% happy with. There's a couple of bits, like they're like a little bit off, like that, like you can see there's a little gap in there, that's not quite connected. But at this point, I'm happy with it, and I can display it, and I can actually enjoy the convention. So thank God it's done. This, I'll save this for another time, when I bring all of Morik together. So I've got that, I've got the skiffs, they were fairly easy to set up, and now I can actually go and enjoy this convention. What a day. So here we go, here's just a bit of footage of me enjoying the rest of what was going on at the convention, because I eventually got some time to go look at it. Loads of cool mocks. This was probably my favourite mock of the day, which wasn't built by anyone in our group. This giant Hogwarts. There's this really cool little Fabuland setup. Just always fun. Tons of stuff to sell that were being bought everywhere. I didn't really buy too much because I think all of the good stuff was bought when I was on my knees on the floor frantically putting everything together. Yeah, just loads of people there. It was really busy. I don't know how many people were there in total, but there was quite a lot. Everyone who came past said that they liked my mock and asked me different questions about it. Everyone was a big fan of Darth Jar Jar being there. But yeah, I had a great time.
Hey, you know that's Sam Smith. Can I get a photo?
Oh, of course. And here's our actual collab table all together, working from right to left. Here you can see is a couple of designs made from one Planet Tech. Next up is Brick Sheepa, who mainly does stuff on Instagram, and I really love all of these different animal mocks or different aliens and creatures, which is what he specializes in. Super cool stuff, and I really love this big Jabba's sail barge at the back here. Moving into the actual collab, we've got Ben Bricks up first. Yeah, cool stuff. Each of these kind of runs on a similar storyline. I'll just show the cards. You can pause if you want to read it. We didn't stick too closely to that. Up next again is Planet Tech with his mock here, which was built in genuinely about 3 days, if that. I thought I'd been making fun of him for ages, saying he wasn't going to get this finished on time, and then we rock up to the convention, his is basically done and mine's in pieces, so I looked a bit like Boo Boo the Fool there. Up next we've got Brick Sheepa, again with something which is not the type of thing he typically builds, but I think he did a really good job of it anyway. Yep, really love all the foliage and that water vapor there. Up next is SW Bricks and Figs. Again, a little bit of a storyline, really cool stuff here. Love all the minifigure placement, love the olive green, good stuff. Next we've got Studio 64. Again, just part of the collab. It's meant to run through like the Star Wars timeline, going from like the Republic era into the Imperial era. Cool stuff again. And then this is Gecko's. This is crazy. I love all of the greebling details. Just so much going on with this mock. It's really quite insane. Love all the terrain. Love all of the greebling and light bluish grey. This one, I think, was actually the only one to have an interior as well. I guess mine was technically all interior, but yeah, really cool stuff. And then we turn the corner to my mock at the end here. You see, mine's separated, of course, because mine's by far the best. I'm just kidding. But yeah, really happy with how this came out in the end. Again, as I said, this will have its own little walkthrough later on. But here you go for now. Super happy with how all of this came out, despite the stress it took me to get there. But there we go, and that's my mock, and then all of the rest of the collab mocks together. Super happy with how it eventually came out.
I've got video permission now.
Right, I am convinced that I am such an exceptional builder that Tech can knock out my support with a swift karate chop, as long as it's like through and through. I don't want you to like go up on an angle, but I reckon you can nail it. What can I say? Right, so the convention is basically over now. Everyone started packing away, as have I. The mock's in 2 pieces again, but this time we're gonna be clever in how we pack it. Will we be clever? Who knows? But I've taken out the walls individually this time, so I'm just gonna have a majority of a flat base to take home, and I'm gonna wrap these all up together. Hopefully they hold. Will they? Probably not. And there we have it. That was my first time displaying at a LEGO convention. Psych, the intro was actually filmed after the whole convention happened, so I fully knew then what had gone down when I was there. Overall, I had a good time, despite the first 2 hours of getting there, because it took me about 2 hours to put that mock back together. It was so stressful, you wouldn't believe, especially when people actually started coming in. There was honestly a point where I was considering just giving up on it and just thinking, this not worth it. But I got there in the end, just about. So that's that, I guess. Hopefully, I would like to present stuff at a convention again, because I've learned a couple of things about it. So hopefully I'd be slightly better the second time. Hopefully. But, you know, what can you do? But thank you so much for watching this vlog. If you like vlogs like this, if you enjoyed this, I promise they won't be all quite as exciting as this one. But let me know in the comments, and like the video if you like the video. That's what the like button's there for. And subscribe if you're new. We're just about to come up on 7,000 subscribers, so big thumbs up and thank you for that. I'll try and upload a bit more to give you an actual reason for that. Morak will be coming back fighting soon, back to weekly uploads, because I really need to get back on top of that. But besides that, stick around for some more fun stuff on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and goodbye.